Hello, everybody, and welcome. We've got a full house of cheering fans, including Earl B., the home team's biggest fan. Stars and Stripes announce the play-by-play. Offense, defense, deep pass, the wave.
They try to stop him with the man-to-man. Nickel, dime, 7 backs to the plan. Coin toss, timeout, a must-win game. The snap, the kick.
Everyone, back here at George Daniel Stadium on the 10th week of high school football. It's the finale, and what a grand finale we have for you this week. We've got the Admiral King Admirals and the Lorain Southview Saints. It's the home game for the Southview Saints. They come into this game with a 4-5 record, while the Admirals are 2-6. Needless to say, a win by the Saints would give them a 500 season, the first time they've had one of those in recent memory. Meanwhile, for the Admirals, a victory would kind of put the icing on the cake, so to speak, for them, since they've only had a 9-game season, and what a way to end the season with a victory. John, how do you size up these two teams? Needless to say, we've got such a typical traditional city rivalry here tonight.
Absolutely. Got a lot of scenarios here. First of all, coaches always talk about you always remember the last game that you play. Seniors will graduate, the juniors and sophomores and freshmen will be in the program. This carries over for the wintertime, whether they're playing another sport, whether they're in the weight room. That's first case scenario. Second case scenario is you've got a great rivalry developing here with the closing of Lorain High. It's Lorain Admiral King, Lorain Southview. These kids have grown up with each other. Everybody knows everybody. It's a great set where it's the last game of the season. No matter how cold it is out there, the kids are really going to give it their all. Last scenario, Frank Witherspoon and David Peoples. David Peoples is the career leading rusher in Lorain Admiral King history. Frank Witherspoon is one of the top runners in the county. I'm sure that both these kids know each other well. They want to go head-to-head with one another and see who outrushes the other. So lots going on tonight.
And in addition to, John, speaking of Frank Witherspoon, not only, as you indicated, David Peoples has set the all-time rushing record for Admiral King High School, but Frank Witherspoon has set the record for a single season in rushing. So there's no doubt that these two athletes are going to see if one can outdo the other. So it should be an outstanding game, and one that we're certainly looking forward to, and we're going to have the opening kickoff right after this timeout for impressions.
Want to make an impression? Got 2 ways for you to do that. First, head for Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard on Lorain's west side. Let Dave help you in picking out and creating some of the most unique t-shirts and sweatshirts. The possibilities are endless. You can sport the look you want, or you can make an impression by giving a gift to someone you love. The second impression you can make is the reality that all profits from sales go to help needy children. So make a twofold impression by going to Impressions, Tower Boulevard at Oberlin Avenue.
We'll be bringing you the exciting play-by-play of this ball game between the Southview Saints and the Admiral King Admirals. Homecoming for the Southview Saints, the Queen, Abby Calderon, and the King, Frank Witherspoon, and a short kick, and it's still not anymore. The Admirals have recovered the ball on the 35-yard line. Recovering for the Admirals, Joe Nazario. So an effort by the Southview Saints to surprise the Admirals and possibly get possession of that kickoff, since the Admirals won the toss and elected to receive, defending the north goal. The Southview Saints kicking off, as you noticed, and defending the south goal. So the Admirals started off 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line. Matt Rossitano, the quarterback. Fullback is Jake Baxter. David Peoples, the tailback. In motion, Brian Herbert. And the give to the fullback, Jake Baxter, gets up to about the 40-yard line. Pick up of 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Right on this play, Admiral King opened up with a slot formation, 2 receiver side to the top of the field. They put the slot man, Brian Herbert, into motion. And a good safe play on any opening drive is to open up with a fullback on a drive or just a dive type of situation. Admiral King got some nice push. You always like to see a fullback pick up 4 yards anytime he runs the football.
And if our viewers have a problem trying to decipher the numbers on the jerseys of the Admiral football players, don't feel bad. We are having as much of a difficult time trying to decipher ourselves. In motion is David Peoples. Rossitano to pass to the far side. And we're going to have a loss on this play. Beautiful defensive job by the Southview Saints. A loss of possibly a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
Like the idea. You've got a career rushing record tailback in David Peoples. They had an I formation. They had a slot formation, put the slot back in motion. And what they did, after that transpired, they put David in a look where he was able to get the ball into the flat. The idea was good. The execution wasn't. We've got 3rd and long.
An important down for the Admirals early in the ball game. First quarter, 10:25. The clock is running, and we have a fumble and a recovery by the Southview Saints.
Ronnie,
a bad break for the Admirals, and the Southview Saints hoping to capitalize now.
We've talked about this before. I've played center. I've coached on the offensive line, and cold weather, whatnot. Whenever that quarterback separates from the center, as that center takes his step forward to get the block, the quarterback must go after that football. And you always try to 50% blame, but boy, bad situation. Southview's got the ball, good field position.
Starlin Lighty is the starting quarterback tonight for the Southview Saints. Frank Witherspoon, the tailback. And the give is to Witherspoon. Picks up about 2-3 yards on the play. Tackle made by Brett Brown for the Admirals.
You're right. We're going to have a hard time with telling numbers tonight. On this situation, Southview's shown a formation they haven't shown us all year. Tight end wing combination, split end to the top of the field, but they opened it up with the person that they've opened up with every game we've seen, Frank Witherspoon, on an isolation.
Will Torres split far to the right. And a mix-up in the at the line, a fumble on the play, and now the Admirals are indicating that they have possession of the ball, and most assuredly they do. And here again, John, a similar situation,
right,
but this time in the case of the Southview Saints not being able to handle that ball. Starlin Lighty, the quarterback.
Hey, both quarterbacks are going to have to realize, and the centers on both teams are going to have to realize, that the most important thing that you have got to do is get that center quarterback exchange. Southview had showed an offset fullback. They might have showed a quick toss down here to the side of the screen, but they never got it off.
The ball on the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Admirals.
Good job, Matt Rossitano. He brought the defensive lineman from Southview into encroachment. It will be now 1st and 5.
The center for the Admirals, Matt Waldron, a 190-pound senior, Jake Harder and Shad Griffin, the 2 guards. Scott Browning and Marcus Smith, the 2 tackles. Frank Salozzi, the tight end. David Hands, the split end, alternating with Shalon Chapman. Brian Herbert, the wingback. Jake Baxter, the fullback. And David Peoples, the tailback. And the give is to David Peoples. First down. He's in the open across the 30, the 25, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown for the Admirals. A quick score with 9 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play.
Hey, about a 70-yard touchdown run. This is one of Admiral King's base formations. It's called a stack I, but they've also shown this last week they have an unbalance. They bring the wide receiver over to the same side as where the tight end is. All they did was double down, double lead up with the wingback and the fullback. David Peoples goes in untouched, 70 yards, and I'm going to tell you this. Southview was playing up to stop the run. They did not have a free safety at 12 yards, and that allowed David Peoples to go in untouched.
63 yards on that run from the Admirals' 37-yard line, and the Admirals call a timeout on the field prior to the attempt for the extra point, and an opportunity for us to tell you that Santa Claus is coming to town, by the way, in case you're wondering. Most assuredly, he'll be at the Palace Theater, and the date for that is Saturday, November 28th. Santa Claus arrives along with Billy the Clown at 12 noon, and TV20 will be on the scene, as they are each and every holiday season. They'll be there to videotape your youngsters as they sit on Santa's lap and just express to him from their heart their dreams for what they want for Christmas, obviously. And you'll have a chance to watch that program all week long. So it begins on Saturday, November 28th, and will continue on Saturday, December 5th, as well as Saturday, December 12th. So please, and on the 19th as well, December 19th, all at the Palace Theater. Bring those youngsters down. Jordan Buck will be attempting the point after. Good snap from center, and the kick is no good. Off to the left. So the Admirals have a 6-0 lead, as we indicated, with 9 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. You know, since 1921, your hometown financial professionals at First Federal Savings of Lorain have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and the surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on cars, boats, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. Whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 6 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, and Port Clinton. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured. Buck kicking off for the Admirals. And a good kick, but a whistle and a flag. We may have to see this again. Offsides is indicated against the Admirals, so they'll kick off now from their 35.
Ron, I've seen this happen once in my coaching career. Southview had their front 5 on that back line, and in one of our games past years, if you left early, that was called against us in an old Admiral King game. But in this case, it was Southview Admiral King being called off for being offsides. Now the front 5 from Southview are not on that white line now.
All right, Jordan Buck's second attempt at the kickoff. This one a little lower and going out of bounds on the far side at about the 23-yard line. And that will give the Southview Saints the ball on their own 35, 1st and 10.
Well, with a 5-yard penalty, that may move it up another 5. They may get it on the 40 because they already kicked back here on a 5-yard penalty. While we got time, I want to get back to that opening play that Southview did. They did an onside kick. Great surprise situation. I don't think Admiral King was looking for it. And football is a game of inches. They almost had that ball on that onside kick to open up the game.
And as usual, you were right in your prediction. The ball is now on the 40 because of the penalty against the Admirals, kicking from their 35. 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints on their 40, and the pitch goes back to Eddie Daniel. Daniel coming to the near side, picks up maybe a couple of yards on the play before being tackled by Frank Solozzi.
Southview showed a tight end wing down here to the Southview sideline, a split end to the top of the screen, and they tried to toss sweep to Southview's sideline down here. The only problem is they did not block Frank Solozzi at the defensive end spot. Frankie had very nice lateral quickness. Small gain on the sweep.
Pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. The ball on the 42-yard line. Rick Spahn, the center for the Southview Saints. Starlin Lighty, the quarterback, looking to pass and almost connects with Will Torres. Had it in his hands, but possibly his forward motion was a little bit too much and couldn't quite hang on. So on the incompleted pass, it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
What Southview showed here is what they showed on the play where they lost the ball on the center quarterback exchange. Offset fullback to the side of the tight end wing. They threw a nice slant pattern, and the receiver just couldn't come up with it. That would have been a 1st down play.
Starlin Lighty going to pass again. And this time the intended receiver, John Thompson, incomplete. It's going to be 4th and 8 for the Southview Saints, and more than likely a punting situation.
Southview had everything that they wanted. Their number one pass play when Starlin Leidy's at the quarterback is the boot. They ran boot to field. Starlin Leidy had broken contain, and by that I mean he was not harassed by the defensive end on the play at all. Looks like there's a penalty here against King. The ball carrier, the receiver that Starlin Leidy threw to was the fullback in the flat. Now you get an incomplete pass. Southview should be punting the ball. There is a penalty here. It's a 1st and 10 situation, and Southview still has the ball. Bad break for Admiral King.
15-yard penalty marched off against the Admirals. Personal foul indicated.
Well, it's a tough break in that situation. Kings definitely wants the football back.
Well, a tough break for the Admirals, but certainly a great break for the Southview Saints.
They've got split backs now. We've seen enough of Southview. They're either going to run a quick pitch, a sweep, or a misdirection play to the second running back. Let's see if it's one of the three.
We indicated to you who the starting center in the backfield for the Southview Saints. The guards are Joe Wilhelm and Dennis Klotz. The tackles, Rick Ramirez, and also Edward Arocho. The give this time is to James Hamilton, now in the ball game for the Southview Saints. Pickup of about 2 yards. Tackle made by Jake Baxter. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Okay, what Southview did here, split backs. First time they've shown the formation. And with James Hamilton, they tried a quick trap. Jake Baxter was up to the challenge. It's 2nd and 8.
Leidy fake to Daniel. He's going to pass. Down the field, the intended receiver, Brandon Neely, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Okay.
You know, going into this ball game, John, Starlin Leidy was ranked amongst the passing leaders in Lorain County with 17 completions on 42 attempts for a total of 226 yards and a 40.5 average, but he is not having his share of good luck so far tonight.
Well, you've seen what he likes to do. He likes to throw the slant. We've seen that, and this pass play was a pass play was a boot.
The ball on the Admirals' 41-yard line. Leidy back to pass again. Connects this time to Eddie Daniel. Daniel looking for some running room to the far side of the field. And he just gets out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. James Williams covering for the Admirals. It'll be close.
Nice play here. Southview shows a slot formation. 2 receiver side down here to the Southview sideline. The secondary from King was obviously looking at the 2 receiver side. They threw a screen pass to the field to Eddie Daniels. And James Williams, game-saving tackle, or that's a walk-in. Nice play by the cornerback from Lorain, Admiral King.
It was enough for a 1st down for the Southview Saints. The ball on the 33-yard line. And the give this time is to Mike Smith. Smith getting across the 30-yard line, brought down by a host of Admiral tacklers.
Okay, they just, on this one, just a wider slot, split backs. And one thing Southview always likes to try to establish in this set is that they like to run a dive right behind the big lineman. All 5 linemen are returning from Southview's line last year. And Admiral King did a decent job, although Mike kind of ran around a little bit.
Pickup of about 3 yards, a little more than 3, 2nd down and a long 6. The give this time again to Eddie Daniel, and he's got running room almost into the end zone, pushed out of bounds by Matt Rossitano.
Here's the switch. You've got the single season record holder for Southview at the tailback, but it was not Frank Witherspoon in this case. It was Eddie Daniels. This shows the depth of their talent in the running back positions. It was Frank's play. It was an isolation play behind the right guard and right tackle, and he nearly walked in. Matt Rossitano saving the touchdown run.
It's going to be 1st and goal for the Southview Saints. The ball on the Admirals' 3-yard line. 4 attempts to get into that end zone, and here's the first attempt. Eddie Daniels is in, touchdown. One of our rushing leaders in the Lorain County area. 43 attempts, going into tonight's game for a total of 467 yards, a 10.9 average, and he's certainly adding to that tonight, not to mention 6 points.
A little bit of a surprise. Hopefully Frank Witherspoon is not hurt. He's a senior. He's got all the records this year, but Eddie Daniels, as well as Mike Smith, are more than capable of toting the football.
Larry Ward on the point after. Snap was high, but the kick is good, and the Southview Saints now take the lead 7-6 with 7:11 remaining in the first quarter of play. You know, whenever you hanker for a pizza, head for the only spot in Lorain that's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that they serve the very best. You know I'm speaking of Rosie's Pizza Palace, 3113 Broadway, where you get pizza fit for a king or even a saint. And if you have any doubts, just remember that the voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Joe Tate, is on record as declaring Rosie's Pizza the absolute positive best. And if it's good enough for Joe Tate, it sure as shooting ought to be good for you and me. That's Rosie's Pizza Palace in the 3100 block of Broadway in Lorain, closed Tuesday and Wednesday. Ward will be kicking off for the Southview Saints from the 40, and before the kickoff, let's again honor the Southview Saints Water Girls doing such a fantastic job, Stephanie Fraley and Kelly Alcisco. And there's the kick. Taken on the 18-yard line by the Admirals, across the 30, across the 40-yard line. Wilfredo Mercado, the ball carrier for the Admirals, gets up to about the 43-yard line, where the Admirals will take over 1st and 10.
Oh, I've got a somewhat critical in this situation. If you've got a kickoff team, everybody's got to stay in their lanes, and the surprise, I guess, is what Southview was looking for. But King has a nice return up to the 43-yard line. If you don't get those kids in their proper lanes, something like this can happen, which is a good return.
Oh my, we've got movement on the offensive line.
All right, Matt Rossitano's obviously varying his counts. He's got Southview not knowing whether it's going to be on a 1, a 2, or a 3. There is encroachment by Southview, but Admiral King is expecting the official to call it, and he didn't, so they call procedure on King because the right guard stood up. You can assume nothing in football until the flag is thrown.
Absolutely.
Too bad for Admiral King.
So the Admirals now with a 1st and 15. The ball on their 39-yard line. 7:03 remaining in the first quarter. Rossitano gives to David Peoples. Peoples across the 45-yard line up to about the 46. Tackle made by Willie Lee for the Saints.
Now, something subtle here. The big picture was David Peoples ran an isolation play behind Frank Salozzi and Marcus Smith and Chad Griffin, but Matt Rossitano went on the first sound. So prior to, you've seen him go on maybe 2 or 3. Southview settles back and waiting for that 2 or 3 count. They go on the first sound and they get back what they lost and a couple more to boot. Nice job by the quarterback.
2nd down and 8 for the Admirals. The give is to the fullback, Jake Baxter, brought down by a host of Southview Saints.
Always like a fullback dive behind big hogs on that offensive line. The offensive linemen don't go to their knees. Everybody's got movement upfield. Jake Baxter's a smallish fullback. He just hides behind the hogs. Now they've gotten a situation where it's 3rd and short.
The Admirals have the ball in Southview territory on the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 2 yards to go. And the give is to David Peoples. 1st down for the Admirals as David gets across the 40.
If it was good enough for David Peoples out of a stack eye to get a touchdown on the previous series to the right side of the Admiral King offensive line, it certainly ought to be good enough to do the same play to the other side. Netted them a 1st down. The sticks are on the 40. Admiral King's on the move.
James Thompson making the stop for the Southview Saints, not only on this play, but the previous one as well. The ball just inside the 40, 1st and 10 for the Admirals. The fake to Baxter, the give to Peoples, and he is met in the backfield. Ed Gregoric, the middle linebacker, making the stop on David Peoples. Also in on that stop, James Thompson, right behind.
Nothing wrong with the execution. It was a misdirection play. Great call. Handing back to Jake Baxter on the second running back. Everybody's looking for David Peoples. Why not give it to Jake? The only problem is the middle linebacker, Ed Gregoric, was on a blitz. Gregoric is 220-pound senior linebacker, and we've seen all year this kid's a good, solid football player.
Loss of 2 yards, 2nd down and 12. Herbert in motion and a flag on the far side of the field.
Southview looks happy, Ron.
Penalty going to be marched off against the Admirals, offside.
Admiral King lined up in the neutral zone. You don't even get a chance to run an offensive play in high school football when that happens.
So you tack on another 5-yard loss. We've got 2nd down and 17 now for the Admirals. Again, Herbert in motion. Rossitano back to pass and looking for a receiver, almost tackled in the backfield. Now he's going to be brought down over on the far side, making the stop. Dennis Klotz, a 186-pound senior defensive left end.
All right, Admiral King for the first time tonight opened up in a one-back set with David Peoples. They had 2 receivers side down here to the Southview sideline, put Brian Herbert in motion. Matt Rossitano wanted to break contain. I thought he went outside of David Peoples' block. The defensive end got upfield, and Matt doesn't want to try to get outside that block, but get underneath it. Nice job by the defensive end, Dennis Klotz from Southview.
The ball now back inside Admiral King territory, just inside the 50. It's 3rd down and 20. Rossitano on a pass play. Finds his receiver, David Peoples. Peoples just across the 45-yard line, and he is tackled by James Thompson. So the Admirals will have a 4th down. The ball on the 44-yard line.
Hey, why not? As we've mentioned before, David Peoples is the career rushing yard leader for Admiral King. Little flare pass, little swing pass out to him, and James Thompson did a nice job. Nice drive, but penalties do hurt. Admiral King looks to be punting.
Starlin Lighty and Eddie Daniel, the deep receivers for the Southview Saints. Jake Baxter will be punting for the Admirals. He'll be punting from his own 44-yard line. A short punt off the side of the foot, going out of bounds at about the 33, 34-yard line.
Right.
And the Southview Saints take over, 1st and 10. And we might remind you at this point in time, if you're into any kind of a sporting team like golf, tennis, baseball, softball, and you're looking for the right uniform to wear, Kohlmeyer's Sporting Supply is the place to go. Not only do they have the apparel, but they can also do a silk screening job for you. They've got the sporting equipment as well. So check them out, Kohlmeyer's Sporting Supply on Grove Avenue. The give is to Frank Witherspoon on the 1st down play, and he's not going to pick up any yardage as he's stopped by a host of Admiral King tacklers.
Folks, we're trying to give you the numbers of the tacklers for Admiral King, but I'm looking out there. I see white jerseys on very, very light numbers. It's a tough one.
Well, you've got light yellow on white.
I guess that's not good, is it? On this play, they ran an isolation behind the right guard, and what Frank has the ability to do, Frank Witherspoon, is take that ball outside by slide stepping. Defense was there to corral him in.
2nd and 10.
There you go.
This time the give is to Witherspoon. He's across the mid-stripe, the 40, the 30, and out of bounds. Big 1st down for the Southview Saints.
Anytime Southview shows split backs, they either do in the past games that we've seen, is a real quick pitch, a toss sweep out of that, a misdirection play to the second back, or in this case, they showed a quick trap. And Frank Witherspoon hit the middle on the trap, stayed behind his right guard, and once he is in the open, this is why he's one of the leading ground gainers in Lorain County this year.
Number 3, as a matter of fact. Number 3.
He's very elusive.
The give this time is to Mike Smith. Smith may be close to another first down for the Southview Saints. Tackle made by Matt Rossitano.
Ronnie, it looked like Admiral King wasn't set for the play. They just didn't get out of their huddle quick enough. And the one thing you don't want to have happen, Mike Smith, by the way, carried the ball for Southview, but you don't want your free safety making tackles. That does not do well for your defense.
And the Admiral King Admirals call a timeout. Southview Saints with the 1st and 10, the ball on the Admiral King 18-yard line. Starlin Lighty, the quarterback, hands it off to Frank Witherspoon, and a flag on the play. Witherspoon managing to get across the 15, but we'll wait and see what the penalty is all about. By the way, as we indicated, and you had pointed out, John, Frank Witherspoon is 3rd in rushing in the greater Lorain County area. Prior to tonight's ball game, the penalty will be against the Southview Saints. Frank ran for 218 rushing plays, picking up a total of 1,497 yards, a 6.2 average. He's also 3rd in scoring in the greater Lorain County area with 18 touchdowns and 8 extra points for a total of 116 points. Holding is the call against the Saints. The ball back on the 26-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 20. Starlin Lighty keeping the ball, looking to pass. He just may continue to run. And finally knocked out of bounds by Matt Rossitano.
Okay, by formation, Southview's got an offset fullback down here towards the Southview sideline. So if you're a defensive player, you got an offset fullback, you just think the formation takes you to the sideline. And Southview has done this twice. They have taken the bootleg pass to the field, and they've got everybody curling back towards Admiral King's sideline. Starlin Lighty didn't like what he saw. Maybe he was going to run from the get-go, but he pulled out a nice play there.
Picked up 5 of the yards lost due to the holding penalty. It's now 2nd and 15. Lighty gives to Frank Witherspoon across the 20-yard line. A pickup of about 3 yards on the play.
Frank is running that inside trap again. It's almost like a little bit of a delay. But in this situation, it just Admiral King did a real nice job on the play before, a couple plays before, where he had the big run. Similar type of situation, so Admiral King kind of shored up that play rather quickly.
3rd and 12 for the Southview Saints. Clock is running with 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. Lighty gives again to Witherspoon across the 15 and across the 10, maybe close to a first down. There is a flag on the far side. Again, the tackle made by Rossitano.
All right, I don't know if this is a new play of theirs for this game only. We're trying to see what the penalty is.
Penalty is going to be against the Southview Saints as the Admirals are applauding.
Well, that's too bad on their part, because what they did was they ran a misdirection. Keep on using the word all year. A misdirection is you want to fake it to the first back, give it to the second back. In that sort of a situation, you want linebackers to feed on that first running back. But what they did differently this time is that they sent the fullback out of the I formation left, tailback right, and Witherspoon had nearly picked up a first down, but it's brought back. Too bad.
Clipping call there on the far side. As you indicated, brought it back. Now we've got a 3rd down and long yardage.
Let's see if Southview attacks the field down to us with Lighty getting out here on a boot.
3rd and 20. Lighty back to pass, looking for a receiver. The intended receiver, Mike Smith, incomplete. Covering on the play for the Admirals was Joe Nazario.
We've got somebody down here from Admiral King. Hopefully it's nothing serious. While we're looking at him to see what happened, they did attack the field, Southview did, but what they did was they put Mike Smith in a flare pass route. And if you've been watching the game since we started, David Peoples has had 2 similar type of plays. So they wanted to get to the field, just an incomplete pass.
Brett Brown, the injured player for the Admirals, and while they tend to him, let me remind you again that there's some fantastic programming coming to the Palace Theater in Lorain. For example, On Saturday, November 21st, the Lorain Golden Crescent Barbershop Chorus will be holding an outstanding concert. And on Wednesday, the 25th, the Steppenwolf concert, 7:30 p.m. Tickets still available for that. And then on the weekend of Friday and Saturday, the 27th of November, they'll be showing the movie Dr. Dolittle at 7 p.m. Tickets are just $1.50 to get in to see that movie, and then Santa Claus, as we indicated, arrives on Saturday the 28th. Dr. Dolittle also on Saturday and Sunday the 29th. And a final reminder that on December 4th, that's a Friday, the Roy Clark Christmas Show with 2 performances at 7 and 10 p.m. Tickets are $28, $25, and $22. Contact the Palace for ticket information.
Brett Brown is up and walking off the field on his own. And just real quickly here, Brett's been in the program for 4 years. He's been nicked up on 2 or 3 different occasions. And it's just kids like this where they show the determination after they're injured to come back and back and back. And it's good to see Brett get up and walk off the field.
Southview Saints now with a 4th down, long yardage, 4th and about 20. Larry Ward is back in punt formation from his 40-yard line. Short punt, hopefully will be downed inside the goal line. Thus being the intent of the Southview Saints, and that's exactly what they've done. That ball has been down on the 1-foot line, just inches away from the goal line, and that's going to put the Admirals obviously as deep can get.
Hey, how many times
in their own territory?
How many times do you see on TV where a punter is trying to angle that ball out of bounds or get it right there on the 1-yard line? Well, guess what? If you haven't seen it, you've seen it right now.
There it
because
is.
Admiral King is going to have a tough situation. There was a game last couple weeks in Lorain County area where a ball was on the 1-yard line. It was the Leary Catholic, late Catholic game. And there was a safety that happened on this very situation.
Well, they're going to have to get out of this or lose 2 points and give up the ball.
Now, once again, if you've got a tailback and David Peoples 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, and if you are going to give him the ball, that is 5 yards that he is back in the middle of that end zone, and most defenses are going to pinch in. And to me, if Admiral King ran a stack eye, I don't think you want to give it to the tailback. You want to get it to that up back or that fullback. That's dangerous.
And that's the end of the first quarter of play with the score, the Lorain Southview Saints 7, the Lorain Admiral King Admirals 6. First play from scrimmage, David Peoples managed to pick up maybe about a foot or 2, so the Admirals are still rather deep in their own territory, and a flag.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Admiral King is clapping, and it looks like then if by that reaction, Southview might have had encroachment problems. But the one thing you don't want to have happen is that you've got to get that fullback or tailback enough room, because in most likelihood you're going to be punting. But Admiral King gets a gift. It's an offsides penalty.
2nd down and 5 for the Admirals. A short 5, but nevertheless.
I think Admiral King is showing this unbalanced formation. It's going to be a sweep to the right.
Herbert in motion to give to the fullback. Jake Baxter just manages to get across the 5-yard line. May not have even gotten up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're doing what probably should have been done in that 1st and 10 situation, get the fullback just to get some breathing room. Now, strategy-wise here, it's 7-6, it's 3rd and 5. You don't want to throw an interception. This critical call here for both sides. Let's see what Admiral King comes up with.
Rossitano keeping the ball, and a pass play, and all kind of flags are down. Willie Lee covering for the Admirals.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball.
And I think the intended receiver was Frank Salozzi.
It was, right.
I can almost read the number.
Right, we're just looking at body size. That was Frank, he's 6'5". What they did there, Matt Rossitano had a slight roll towards Admiral King's sideline, and Frank Solozzi did a little square out, a little look in and then just kind of twist his feet and just a square out type of thing. Willie Lee had the tackle. It looked like it was thrown a little bit behind Frank, and the officials were calling that it was pass interference. And I don't know, I thought that might have been a bad call because it looked like it was behind Frank, and Willie Lee got there at the time of when the ball was thrown.
15 yards, marched off against the Southview Saints.
2 critical mistakes by Southview.
And the Admirals now have some breathing room with the ball on their own 21-yard line. 1st and 10. The pitch is to David Peoples. David gets across the 25-yard line. Fumble on the play. The Southview Saints indicating they've got the ball. We'll wait to see what the officials have to say, however, as they stop the clock.
No, Admiral King still has.
Admiral King will maintain possession of that ball. And a pickup of about 5 yards on the play for David. 2nd down and 5.
What Admiral King showed, and I called it the play or two before they threw it to Frank, when Admiral King brings that outside receiver past Frankie Solozzi and then unbalance it, they like to run David Peoples to sweep, which that play was.
Again, David Peoples, the ball carrier, gets across the 30-yard line, may have picked up enough for a 1st down. Host of Southview Saints in on the tackle. Leading the charge, Stephen Yates. And a 1st down for the Admirals. 1st and 10, the ball on their own 32-yard line.
Well, just like Southview has the go-to guy by the name of Frank Witherspoon, and lately a little bit with Ed Daniels, Admiral King's go-to guy is David Peoples, and it was an isolation play just like Frank Witherspoon runs, and these guys seem to pick up 1st downs.
David, by the way, is 12th in rushing in the greater Lorain County area, 173 carries for 840 yards and a 5.6 average coming into tonight's ball game. Jake Baxter, the ball carrier, he gets nowhere. In on the tackle for the Southview Saints, Joe Meza.
King has shown this before. This is the 3rd time on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10 they have run Jake Baxter. This time Joe Mesa on the defensive line was ready for him. I like the call. The execution just wasn't there for Admiral King. Let's see if they get the ball to David Peoples or work a perimeter pass with Matt Rossitano.
The officials spot the ball, giving Jake Baxter about a short yard gain on the play. 2nd down and a long 9, and David Peoples now the ball carrier coming to the near side across the 40 into Southview territory, out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Making the stop, Stephen Yates for the Southview Saints.
I'm going to tell you who had a critical block on that play. The right guard was Chad Griffin, and he sealed in the defensive end, the defensive right end for Southview. And what I mean by sealed in, he turned his shoulders and got Southview to look inside. David took it right off his backside. Nice run, David Peoples.
The give is to the fullback, Jake Baxter, picking up a few more yards. Brandon Neely making the tackle for the Southview Saints. Baxter gets across the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Make it the 38. Where it's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Fullbacks traditionally don't have a lot of different type of running plays. You're either going to run something up the middle, a dive or a trap, or you're going to run a belly-off tackle, which is what Jake Baxter did this time. And the reason why I like this situation where you show it with Jake Baxter, because all 3 linebackers are looking for David Peoples. And it's been successful.
Rossitano looking to pass, coming across, running the ball. He's out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Eddie Daniel covering for the Southview Saints. And that is enough for a 1st down for the Admirals. They'll have a 1st and 10 on the Southview 30-yard line. The ball spotted just inside the 30.
One back set by Admiral King. Matt Rossitano got the perimeter. Guess who got the nice block? David Peoples. So on this play here, he not only shows you that he can run, he can also block.
Southview Saints call a timeout. 8 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Rossitano hands off to David Peoples. Peoples gets inside the 25-yard line. Pickup of 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Guess what? If Jake Baxter can run a 30 dive behind the Hogs of Admiral King, why can't you do the same thing with David Peoples?
Why not?
Why not? No, all they had was a single back. It just allows David to get behind the big kids from Admiral King and run behind them. They pick up 5 yards. Nice call.
Peoples, the ball carrier again. Another first down across the 10 and inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Admirals, making the crucial stop for the Southview Saints, Mike Smith and Willie Lee.
It's a play that both teams run to perfection. Frank Witherspoon and David Peoples in isolation. I believe the fullback was Jake Baxter. He leads up. The tailback stays behind him. Left side of the offensive line from Admiral King did a nice job. Then when David's in the open, it's just power and speed, and they're inside the 5.
Ball is on the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. And again, the give is to David Peoples. He is in the end zone. Touchdown, and the Admirals go on top in this ball game with 7:13 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
This play, Ron, it's a stack eye. They put Brian Herbert in motion left to give them a con formation look. And all great runners, all nice runners. We've talked about this all year from the professional level down to this level. Initially, David wasn't in, but he kept his legs moving. And it's amazing what happens when you keep your legs moving and you're on the goal line. You usually get the hands raised by the official. Touchdown, David Peoples.
Well, like you've indicated in the past, John, that's the sign of a real, true back.
Absolutely.
The great ones do it that way.
They just don't quit with their feet.
Jordan Buck will not be on the field for the point after since they missed the first time around. The Admirals will be going for the 2. And it's Rossitano looking to pass and incomplete into the end zone. The intended receiver, Frank Salozzi. So the Admirals do go on top and remain on top at this point in the ball game, 12-7. Buck will be kicking off for the Admirals, kicking off from his 40-yard line. Good kick. Taken on about the 12-yard line. Eddie Saltonell finally picking it up. It was like, who wants to take it?
It was like a football that was a little bit oily, and between two people, they just, the greased pig was running around the barnyard. It just cold hands, and they couldn't find the handle on it. Nice job by Admiral King to make sure they had the tackle on the 15.
1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. The ball just inside, as John indicated, just inside their own 15-yard line.
Well, if you're looking at what Southview's going to do, you've got Frank Witherspoon, just like Admiral King's got David Peoples. They're in this split bat look. Let's see if they do the quick trap or a quick pitch or a sweep.
Witherspoon and Daniels in the backfield, and the give is to Witherspoon, and he just gets up to about the line of scrimmage. Brought down by a host of Admirals there on the far side of the field. Leading the charge, Chad Griffin.
Okay, the one play that I didn't get to out of that split backfield that Southview likes to run is the handoff to the second back, and in this case, it was Frank Witherspoon, but Chad Griffin and the defense from Admiral King had a nice defensive charge.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. The fake is to Witherspoon, and the give is to Eddie Daniel. Maybe a yard or 2 on the play. A sundry Admirals in on the tackle.
Okay, on the first play, it was a handoff to the second running back, which was Frank Witherspoon in that split backfield. This time, same formation set with the backfield being split, but they gave it to the first running back, which was Mike Smith. Same results. It's 3rd and long for Southview.
Pickup of 2 yards on the play. We'll make that 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. And it's Leidy going to pass, and he's going to be brought down. Could not find a receiver, and he is tackled for a big loss. Frank Salozzi amongst the tacklers.
We're trying to see the other tackler, and for the life of us, we're just having a... There were two people that got Starlin Leidy. It looked like he wanted to have a semi-drop of about 5 yards and throw upfield. He just never had a chance to collect his thoughts there. Frank Salozzi was on him immediately.
Loss of about 7 yards on the play, so it's 4th and 15 in an obvious punting situation. Larry Ward will be punting from his own end zone. And the punt will be downed on about the 37, 38 yard line. Good field advantage for the Admirals as they take over once again, 1st and 10. Admirals on the move now, 1st and 10. The ball on the Southview St. 37 yard line. And the give is to David Peoples. David getting up close to the 30 yard line.
Okay, Admiral King opens up, great field advantage. You want to get the ball to the guy that's going to move that thing north and south. It's an off-tackle play. Admiral King pulls a backside guard. Nice job by the fullback. Nice job by the left guard, which in this case, when I find him, will be Jake Harder. So nice offensive line surge by Admiral King.
The ball on the 31 yard line. Pickup of 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. Jake Baxter, the ball carrier, picking up 1st down for the Admirals. James Thompson making the tackle.
Can I be repetitive, Mr. Bacalar? In this situation, everybody's looking at David Peoples. You've got Jake Baxter at the fullback spot. It seems to be part of Admiral King's game plan that they do want to get the ball to Jake Baxter when everybody else is keen on the tailback, David Peoples.
Well, it sure looked to me like Jake Baxter had enough forward motion for a 1st down, but the officials indicate otherwise, and
that's why
they're in charge.
That's why coaches have gray hairs.
That's why they have the zebra stripes and I don't. That was a pickup of 2 yards, though. 3rd down and 1. Oh. And Rossitano hangs on to the ball. He's going to keep it, and he picks up the 1st down.
Well, guess what? You want to get the ball to David Peoples. There was a center quarterback exchange problems there again. Matt Rossitano's using a little bit of basketball skills on that rebound. But after he came down with it, he's got enough presence of mind to go around the corner. Everybody's sucked in on Peoples, and he's got a 1st down. So little, Matt's improvisation there. Is that the proper word?
Excellent. His uncle has got to like that particular play.
Right.
The give to David Peoples, and still on his feet, 1st down for the Admirals. Flag is down, however, a flag on about the 22 yard line. And we have an injured Southview Saint on the field, up around the 28.
We can't tell who the Southview Saint is. Hopefully it's upper body and not down by the knees. You never want to see anybody get hurt, but you never want it to be knees.
And with 3:07 remaining in the 1st half, the officials call timeout on the field, and the penalty will be against the Southview Saints. There for the Southview Saints is Eduardo Arocho, a 5'10", 265-pound junior being helped off the field. The penalty we had indicated against the Southview Saints was a personal foul, and the Admirals now have the ball 1st and goal. The ball on the 8 yard line. Another golden opportunity for the Admirals.
Let's look to the sweep to the Admiral King sideline.
And a fumble on the play, but Rossitano did manage to recover. So the Admirals will maintain possession of the ball. Might have lost a yard. It'll still be 2nd and goal.
I'm going to tell you one of the tough things in high school football. I've seen it for a lot of years. You put somebody over the center, and in this case it's Matt Waldron's position that he's occupying for Admiral King. Snap, step, get the ball to the quarterback, good exchange, cold night, all these things people don't realize in the stands, and it's a skill. And tonight it's just really tough because of the cold weather.
On the 2nd and goal, the give is to David Peoples. David across the 5-yard line inside. It'll be 3rd and goal. Tackle made by Ed Gregoric, the middle linebacker, a 220-pound senior.
King kept the stack eye in. Stack eye, wing back, fullback, tailback, didn't motion Brian Herbert out. They're looking double teams, down blocks, lead up by the fullback and the wing back. And David's getting closer and closer to that end zone.
3rd and goal, the ball on the 4-yard line. Clock is running with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Herbert in motion. The pitch is to David Peoples, looking for some running room. Can't find it. He is stopped for a loss. Making the key tackle for the Southview Saints, Steve Ridnour. It'll be 4th and goal.
You see this on television casts all the time professionally on the weekends. Anytime that you make a runner like a David Peoples with that type of size and power, if you make him go east-west instead of north-south, you've got him. And the pursuit, inside-outside pursuit with Southview was good enough that David was looking for a cutback that wasn't there. That's just a credit to Southview's defense on that play.
4th and goal for the Admirals. The ball on the 9-yard line. They want to talk about it. Timeout on the field. And during the timeout, the Admirals have decided that they're going to try the field goal. Jordan Buck will be attempting the field goal. A ball is in the air, and it is good. Admirals picking up 3 points, making the score now with just under 57 seconds remaining. 15 for the Admirals, 7 for the Southview Saints.
Hey, we never get to talk about the extra points or the field goals too long because we're always having to go off the air, but excellent snap by Matt Waldron, good hold by Matt Rossitano, excellent field goal by Mr. Buck. Just a great job.
Along with Starlin Lighty, the deep receivers for the Southview Saints. Jordan Buck kicking off from his 40, a good kick. And off the fingertips of Mike Smith, rolls into the end zone, and Starlin Lighty has to recover. So the ball is down in the end zone. That'll bring the ball out to the 20, where the Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10.
I'm going to defend the Southview player in this situation. Jordan Buck kicked a line drive, knuckleball type of a ball. There was no height from that ball. There's a drill about catching a football that's over your head. In that case, there's not a drill that would help. In that case, it was a line drive. You almost got to put your hands up, try to stop it, and collect your thoughts after that. That's a tough ball to catch.
Well, Starlin Lighty certainly on top of things by downing the ball. Had no one touched it, and the Admirals would have recovered another 6 points. Frank Witherspoon, the ball carrier, 1st down, still on his feet, gets across the 40 up to about the 41-yard line. Good pickup by the Southview Saints, and Frank Witherspoon. Tackle made by Matt Rossitano.
It's always amazing from series to series. Everybody in the crowd is saying, boy, great call, great play. It's the exact same plays that Southview's been running the last series. It was a misdirection, second handoff. Admiral King's defense bit on the first running back. They give it to Frank Witherspoon. He picks up plus 25 yards. Things change from series to series.
43 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Southview Saints call a timeout. 10 for the Southview Saints. The fake to Mike Smith. Starlin Lighty keeping the ball, and he passes to Eddie Daniel. Daniel out of bounds on the far side. May have picked up another 1st down.
Okay, we couldn't get the Admiral King defensive back who made the hit. Southview opened up on this play with a flex tight end, split backs, ran the boot. Eddie Daniels is one of the split backs. He went out in the flat, and he's there. Admiral King did not cover the flat area. Nice call by Southview. Nice run.
Eddie Daniel picking up the 1st down. More importantly, getting out of bounds to stop the clock. The give is to Frank Witherspoon. Witherspoon looking for running room on the far side of the field. He's across the 30, still on his feet, and over the 25-yard line. And Another big first down for the Southview Saints with 27 seconds remaining in the first half.
We can't read the number again. Remember I told you about the misdirection 2 plays ago? They did it out of split backs. This time they did it out of an I formation. Fullback went to the right. Witherspoon goes to the left. Defense bites on the fullback. Nobody's there with Witherspoon, plus missed tackles.
And the Southview Saints have called a timeout. 27 seconds in the first half. Starlin Lighty fakes the handoff to Witherspoon, looking for someone to pass to, and he's being chased and brought down back on the 40-yard line. Wow.
Frank Salozzi's one of the tacklers, and I don't know on the other one.
And obviously no more timeouts for the Southview Saints as they have a third down now and a lot of yardage. And I think Starlin Lighty just took the snap from center and threw the ball down in order to stop the clock.
Well, nothing wrong with that. I don't know if he had all his people set. I don't see a flag. Bright play on his part. There's 2.8 seconds left. He had to get that clock stopped. On this play, Ron, that fell apart for Southview, it was a bootleg, and Starlin Lighty could not break contain. Defensive ends from Admiral King did a nice job on that play. Frank Salozzi being one of them.
This will be the final play in the first half. Starlin Lighty to pass. The intended receiver, the ball intercepted. The intended receiver, number 2, Eddie Daniel. And that's the end of the first half of play with the Admiral King Admirals on top by 8 points. It's Admiral King 15, Lorain Southview 7. this second half underway, and before we do, we'd just like to point out that prior to the start of the second half, they had a lot of little youngsters on the track just down below us, honoring the kids that participated in the Tag Football League, sponsored by the YMCA, with the coordinator, Luther Washington Jr. So we salute the little ones, about 180, 190. A few of them were guests of tonight's ball game, those that chose to show up. And we're happy for them and the opportunity to see what football's all about. Jordan Buck kicking off for the Admirals, taken by Mike Smith on his 20, up to the 30, still on his feet. He's up to the 40 and out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And what a crash that was. Wow. Jake Baxter making the stop for the Admirals, and the Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10 on their own 45.
Did you know that my son plays in the flag football? So I want to say something to Eric. I'm very proud that he played this year, and I believe that this flag football is the foundation for all future success in Lorain City Schools.
Now, the fact that your son participates in golf.
Yes.
He played on a championship Little League baseball team.
American Slovak Club, coached by Bill Dillon.
Slovak Club, and assisted by John Nesbitt. Would that have anything to do with his father having been an athlete and a coach?
Absolutely not. Talent
I
dictates.
didn't think so. His mother, I'm sure, had everything to do with it, and someday when he's a professional, he'll look at that camera and say, "Hi, Mom."
Boy, you're going to need dinner in my household.
Penalty against the Admirals. It's 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints on the Admirals 40, and carrying the ball for the Southview Saints, Eddie Daniel, as he's hopscotching about on the field and gets across the 30-yard line, and another first down, but we'll wait and see what the officials have to say. Tackle made by Joe Nazario.
Ron, the first time that you come out in the second half with your Admiral King or Southview, you want to get your intensity level right there. After the kickoff and then the penalty, Admiral King's intensity defensively wasn't there on that first play.
The ball on the 29-yard line, and the give is to Eddie Daniel. Preston Beard, by the way, is in at quarterback now for the Southview Saints here in the second half. Tackle made by Alan Penny. Loss of a yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 11. Preston Beard looking to pass, being chased. He's got plenty of time and attempts to throw the ball to Eddie Daniel. Incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Now, we've got a new quarterback in there, right? Preston
Beard.
So this
correct.
is an interesting situation. Preston Beard a couple weeks ago against Akron Holman came in right before the end of the second quarter and lit up the scoreboard with 2 touchdowns and welcome see plays. Split backs here. It looked like there was a hold on Frank Salozzi. Preston Beard got outside of contain, wasn't able to connect. 3rd down. Critical play. Let's see what they did with it.
Preston ranked 8th, by the way, in the greater Lorain County area in passing with a 500 record. The give is to Frank Witherspoon. Witherspoon out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. David Peoples in on the play for the Admirals.
I think we have a flag down too, Ron.
Flag is down on the 16-yard line.
And an Admiral King player is indicating
Clipping
a clip
against the Southview Saints.
Matt Rossitano was an official on that play. He called it. Situation is this: split backs, misdirection. Firm believer in that. Instead of Frank Witherspoon being somebody who was a decoy, they gave it to Frank on the second handoff. Well-conceived play, but there's a clip on the play, so it brings it back.
Had it not been a clip against the Southview Saints, it would have been a first down for the Saints.
Right.
Ball back now on the 31-yard line.
Now, I'm going to tell you what the presence of Preston Beard here, quarterback number 1, brings to Southview huddle. He's a little bit bigger than Starlin Lighty. He can do the drop back. He's a bigger sized athlete. He throws the ball upfield, tight spiral. This is a perfect situation for him to look for completing the first down.
Both are juniors, by the way, Lighty and Beard, but Lighty 150, Preston Beard 190 pounds. And the give is to Frank Witherspoon as he gets across the 20 and enough for a first down. He's still on his feet and into the end zone. Unless the officials are indicating touchdown. Admirals might have thought that he went out of bounds over there on about the 15-yard line, but he maintained, must have really ran the tightrope.
Now, I've been coaching you for 10 weeks. What did he not stop moving?
His feet.
His feet. And
Not to
all
mention
good
his
running
legs.
backs who never stop moving their feet. And if you're on Sammy's sideline over there, I think Admiral King thought that they had him. And hey, when Sammy's sideline's over there, you got to put the runner out into Sammy's sideline territory. That didn't happen. Frank didn't quit. Got a touchdown.
Well, the Southview Saints now trail by 2 points. They're going for the 2 extra points to tie this ball game. And the pitch is to Eddie Daniels. He's in the end zone. We have a tie ball game with 10 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. It's Southview 15, Admiral King 15. Larry Ward kicking off for the Southview Saints. The ball taken on the 15-yard line up to the 25, the 30, and down on about the 34-yard line. Not the slightest idea who the ball carrier was. Can't see the number as we indicated.
Southview has done what they did before in their previous kickoff. They do this. They've got their huddle and they run it from there. And not being critical about this at all, it's just tougher for a kid who's in the middle of the field. You've got 2 kids that are in contain, and they've got to get out there. And to Southview's credit, they did a great job on that coverage on the kickoff.
First and 10 for the Admirals. The ball on their own 34-yard line. A tie ball game, 15-15. The give is to David Peoples, trying to find some running room. Gets across the 35 up to about the 37-yard line. Pickup of possibly 3 yards on the play before being tackled by Willie Lee, a 160-pound senior.
Now, if you're looking at the screen right now, the ball initially was in the middle of the field. It ends up here in the right hash. David did not like what he saw, or else the blocking at the point of attack was not there. And we've said it before. These nice running backs that are on Southview's football team and Admiral King's football team, they keep moving their feet. It's so important in a runner's.
The fake to Peoples. Rossitano with the ball. Gets across the 40. Tripped up. Nick Henderson just getting a hand on Rossitano's leg and tripped him up. Rossitano gets the ball across the 40-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
You just saw a bootleg to the field. Remember we said where the ball was on the right hash, about at the 35 or whatever so yard line. And Matt Rossitano had contained, but Nick Henderson showed as much foot speed as what Matt Rossitano did and tripped him up at the ankles. It's now a 3rd down play instead of a 1st down play.
Peoples the ball carrier, and it'll be close. It looks like enough for a 1st down. Officials stop the clock just to make sure. The ball looks like it's almost at the 45-yard line. That's enough.
I'm going to tell you, every time Admiral King keeps in that stack eye. What do I mean by the stack eye? Brian Herbert is behind Rossitano. Jake Baxter is behind Herbert, and David Peoples is 5.5 yards back. They are playing power football, and Southview has not stopped that formation or that play all night. I think David Peoples has had 2 touchdowns off of it.
1st and 10 for the Admirals. Rossitano looking to pass. The intended receiver, John Loddick. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Ron, I'm going to correct you only because I know the body size on this. That was Brian Herbert.
Okay.
At the flanker spot, so sorry about that.
That's no problem.
Okay, we had a 3-step drop here. First time that King has run it tonight, and they had the play. The Brian Herbert had inside leverage on the corner. The ball just didn't get there.
Not to mention you're younger than I am. You have better eyesight. So I will.
Thank you.
I will bow to the authority.
Absolutely.
David Peoples, the ball carrier. He's up close to the 45-yard line as he gets into Southview territory on the 2nd down play. The officials indicate timeout on the field to check possibly for measurement if necessary.
Let's say Admiral King would call this a 47 power. And the backside guard, I believe would be Chad Griffin, is pulling up into the hole. Jake Baxter got a nice kick out. Frank Solozzi had a nice down block. And then David Peoples gets into that linebacker area, and he's picked up. It's third and short. They're measuring it. Nice run, nice execution by Admiral King.
On the third down play, the give is to the fullback, Jake Baxter. He's got a first down as he gets the ball inside the 45.
I've said it before. I love the call. Everybody's got to be looking at Peoples, and lo and behold, you sneak in there with Jake Baxter. He has not, on any occasion tonight, except for maybe one, not got positive yardage on that dive play. Critical play. They get the ball still moving. First down.
David Peoples breaks away from some tacklers and gets another first down for the Admirals across the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Nick Henderson. And there is a flag down back on the 43-yard line.
Let me set it up here. You were passing me a hot dog, so I didn't see the formation. But Ed Gregoric from the middle linebacker spot shot the A-gap. Normal circumstances, David Peoples goes down. David eluded him, ended up with a nice run, but guess what? We're coming back.
Oh, my goodness.
You've either got probably a hold on the offensive line. Let's see what they...
Well, they marched off
a clip down
15 yards.
Okay, so you've got people downfield, the wide receivers or whatnot, or somebody from the offensive line who's trying to do a great job downfield. Somebody turns their back. You can never hit somebody in their back. They call it clipping. Too bad.
15-yard penalty gives the Admirals now a 1st and 25 back in their own territory. Herbert in motion. The pitch is to David Peoples. He's trying to find some running room, and he's not going to find it. He is brought down at the line of scrimmage, maybe a slight loss.
James Thompson is the one that contained number 44, David Peoples. It was a speed option. Speed option, I mean, there is nobody to lead. Matt Rossitano went down the line and pitched it on the option to David Peoples. And I've said this before, if you make David Peoples run east and west, you've taken away his effectiveness. So credit James Thompson and probably Ed Gregoric on the defensive side.
Second down now for the Admirals. A lot of yardage. Rossitano looking to pass. He's being chased. Finally gets the ball away, almost intercepted by James Thompson. It'll be third down.
I've never been a position coach at the quarterback level, but there are just certain times that you have to eat the football, or more importantly, get rid of it and not take the sack. What Matt Rossitano did there that was dangerous, he was rolling to his left. He stopped, wanted to make something happen, threw across his body, and anytime you throw in the middle of the field, it's not good when you're throwing across your body. Incomplete pass.
Rossitano back to pass again, being chased on the screen to David Peoples across the 50, twists away from one tackler and gets across the 35-yard line. And by golly, we may be close to a first down. Nick Henderson making the stop for the Southview Saints, and Henderson is slow getting up off that field.
Okay, here's the situation. Southview blitzes Ed Gregoric in the middle. They've got pressure on Matt Rossitano. Matt is backpedaling, gets a screen pass to David People down here towards Southview sideline. About midway on David's run, you can hear Mr. Bob Brashkish make a comment, because we've got him up here for color commentating in January basketball, and Mr. Brashkish did not miss it. There was a spin move by David Peoples, and great play. It's 4th and 1.
And the officials are going to check for measurement. And while they do that, let us remind you that Colmeyer's Sporting Goods on Grove Avenue provide you with the finest in sporting equipment, sportswear, and all kind of good things. So we want to remind you that if you are in need of everything and anything in the way of sports, check with Colmeyer's. And we want to thank Colmeyer's for being one of our sponsors and making it possible with the proceeds to get us some valuable equipment that made these telecasts possible of high school football in Lorain. 4th down and about a yard. Admirals will be going.
Stack eye run.
The give is to David Peoples, and he's got the first down and then some.
I've called it all night in this sense only because you see the formation and you see the success, but a little bit of trickery here. You would think that you would run behind the strength of formation, which is behind Frank Salozzi, left end, left tackle, and left guard because of the size. And what does Admiral King do? They run to the short side of the formation, but the same type of play.
1st and 10 for the Admirals. The ball on the Southview Saints 27-yard line. And a whistle and a flag. Again, the problem that we've had several times in the first half, John. Apparently somebody lining up offside.
And guess what? It's either against Southview or Admiral King. But
and it's against Admiral King,
right,
as the Southview Saints begin to applaud.
Gosh, you can't do that. You're running a very well executed offense. Things are happening. 1st and 10 on the 27-yard line, and you've got a procedure call. You just can't do that and expect to win ball games.
Now the Admirals faced with the 1st and 15.
I'm looking for a perimeter play with Matt Rossitano, or they're going to give an isolation to David Peoples.
The give to David Peoples across the 30-yard line, up close to the 25. We'll see where the officials spot the ball as the clock continues to run here in the 3rd quarter with 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Tackle made by Willie Lee.
I'll tell you, both teams have nice tailbacks. You've seen an awful lot of Frank Witherspoon, and I think David Peoples right now is a man possessed. He is being hit at the line of scrimmage, and he is not going down where he's initially hit. He's carrying 2 or 3 people with him.
On that 1st down play, Peoples picking up the 5 yards lost on the penalty. It's now 2nd and 10. The give this time to the fullback, Jake Baxter. Or was it Rossitano on a quarterback keeper?
No, it was Jake Baxter.
Okay.
This has been part of the King game plan all night. They're obviously showing David Peoples. He's the one being featured. But at the end of the night, it's going to be interesting to see how many yards Jake Baxter has picked up on this simple dive, getting behind the Admiral King offensive lineman.
On the 3rd down and 1 yard to go, the give is to David Peoples, and he is hit hard. Did not make the 1st down. Eddie Daniel making the stop.
And Ed Gregoric also.
David Peoples, by the way, is over 1,000 yards rushing in the season.
Hey, that's quite a compliment. I've been around this school long enough. I've seen such running backs. We've had some All-Ohio runners, Raymond Harris, Eric West, the Dunlap brothers, and Brian Amison. And for David Peoples to accomplish 1,000 yards this season, that's quite a tribute to him, as well as a tribute to Frank Witherspoon.
And the Admirals take a timeout on the field. A time for us to remind you that for real Italian pizza made by a real Italian, try Rosie's Pizza Palace at 3113 Broadway, Lorain. Rosie has been making these fine pizzas since 1954. Open 5 days a week from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday. If you've tried the rest, now try the best in 9-inch and 12-inch pizza. Call Rosie's Pizza Palace at 245-6555 for some of the best pizza this side of Italy. And we want to thank Rosie's for being one of our sponsors. We also would like to recognize, for the final time this season, First Federal Savings of Lorain. Since 1921, they've been your hometown financial professionals. They have dedicated themselves to meeting the financial needs of their customers and surrounding communities. They offer a wide variety of financial investments as well as home mortgages to meet your every need. Loans on cars, boats, mobile homes, and other worthwhile purchases are also available. So whatever your financial need, First Federal Savings of Lorain is ready to help. 6 convenient locations to serve you in Lorain, Huron, Sandusky, and Port Clinton. First Federal Savings of Lorain is an equal housing lender and FDIC insured. I don't know if they'll loan you any money, though, if you want to buy a lot of pieces from Rosie, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Again, we thank all of them for being so helpful in making these telecasts possible. And a reminder that come the 1st of January, we're going to be back on the sports scene with high school basketball, bringing you exciting play-by-play of boys and girls varsity games between Admiral King and Lorain Southview. 9 weeks of exciting high school basketball. The give is to David Peoples as he tries to bull his way up for that first down on the 4th down play. It'll be interesting to see where the officials spot the ball as the Saints are clapping on the field indicating they were able to stop David.
I'll tell you, you call the play exactly the way you should have called it. You give it to David Peoples. The offensive line from Admiral King has had their way of late here. But I'll tell you what, Southview had a great defensive charge, got upfield, and I don't think that David made this, and there's an official's timeout, and they're looking at it. Good job by the interior defensive line and the 3 linebackers on this 4-3 defense of Southview. Ron, I'm going to take this one real quick from you. There's an old coaching adage that if you're an offensive coordinator, you always think that your offensive lineman can get that yard and a half. And nothing wrong with the call at all, except the execution by Southview was better than the execution by Admiral King.
Well, now the Admiral King defense will have to come to the call as the Southview Saints take over now. 1st and 10 and a flag already before we even get started.
Okay, while we're looking at this now, Preston Beard is still in a quarterback, and I am telling you right now, this is a presence that Southview does not have, because he gives you the added dimension of being able to do the 3-step drop and the 5-step drop as opposed to Starlin Lighty's bootleg passing. So let's see what transpires here with Preston Beard.
5-yard penalty against the Admirals. They had 12 men on the field. On the give, Frank Witherspoon, the ball carrier.
We tried to see who had them. We just couldn't see the number. 1 back set, and it was Frank Witherspoon. And you can't beat that combination. You just give him the ball on a reverse handoff steps or open up and see what he can get. But Frank has done what David's done. He did not accept the tackle, kept on running.
And on the 1st and 5, he picked up the necessary yardage for a first down. The ball on the 29-yard line, 1st and 10 for Southview. Give again is to Witherspoon, just manages to get across the 30-yard line, pick up of 2 yards. Jake Baxter making the tackle for the Admirals.
In my coaching experience, I'll call this a 27. A 27 to any team that I've been around is a second handoff, but it's not a misdirection play. They had split backs in the backfield. They faked it first Eddie Daniels on an open up by the quarterback. Then the quarterback continued down the line, and the second back came up, which is Frank Witherspoon. And it's a nice idea, nice conceptual play. It just didn't develop. Admiral King, good job.
Pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. Preston Beard into the flats to Brandon Neely. Neely across the 35-yard line up to about the 37. It'll be 3rd down.
Did it look like you that that ball skipped into his hands, or did he catch it off his hands? Mr. Quinlan's indicating that it looked like it might have skipped off the ground, but the sideline judge did not call it that, and this is one of the things that Preston Beard can do. He's got an awfully strong arm, 1.5-yard step drop, and he threw a little flare pass to the wide receiver.
Can we have some instant replay?
I think we're in
3rd and 1. Pitch back to Witherspoon. He's got the 1st down, and just across the 50-yard line. Flag on the play.
Yeah, I think there's a flag on the 40-yard line. Okay, by definition, and
it's going to be against Southview. Holding.
By definition, Ron, Southview had the play. Offset fullback to the weak side of the formation. Quick toss to Frank Witherspoon. By definition, they had it, meaning they had contained right there. The only thing they didn't have was the holding that brings the play back. Too bad for Southview. Both teams have made critical mistakes when it comes to encroachment, offsides, procedures, holding, clipping.
It'll be 3rd down and a long 9 for the Southview Saints. The ball just inside their own 30. And the give is to Mike Smith as he tries to dance his way up close to the 35-yard line. It won't be enough for a 1st down, obviously. 4th down for the Southview Saints. May be a punting situation.
Ron, Jake Baxter made that tackle, and I'll tell you, the ball was on the right hash. It came all the way back as we're looking to Southview's hash. And the reason why kids stay at home, Mike Smith had a great run. He brought it all the way back here, and we had a tackle.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. The score all knotted up, 15-15. In punt formation for the Southview Saints, back on about his 21-yard line.
Special team coach's nightmare. You don't have enough people on the...
and a flag.
They've got a procedure call.
Ball is down back on the 39-yard line, but we do have a flag.
Every high school football team has a special teams coach.
Illegal procedure against the Southview Saints. That'll bring it back.
Right, and sometimes kids get hurt, and you always preach to kids because there's a depth chart. And if somebody gets hurt and they forget to tell a coach, or sometimes kids just have a lapse of memory. And boy, you're out there with 10 kids, and you're looking for that kid and grab another kid. And what happened here was they weren't set. They weren't set for a 1-second count, and they got a procedure call against them. Critical mistake here, 4 yards, 5 yards back. Now David Hands is standing at the 48-yard line of King's territory. If he can catch this ball, some positive things can happen for Admiral King.
Larry Ward will now be punting from his 15-yard line.
Yeah, well, his debate was that if he didn't come to high school, he should be graduating with that junior class.
Good snap from center. Ward puts the foot to the ball, and it's taken by Larry Hands. The Admirals will take over now, 1st and 10, as they were unable to advance the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line.
Great job by Larry Ward. The first punt that he had, not much hang time, not returnable. This one, plenty of hang time, not returnable again. So territory-wise, Admiral King looked to advance the ball, and they couldn't. Nice job by the punter from Southview.
Rossitano, the quarterback, fakes the handoff to Peoples, coming over to the near side across the 40, the 45, and dropped at about the 46-yard line. Making the tackle, Nick Henderson for the Southview Saints.
We've called Nick's name recently here in the last quarter. Bootleg to the field. I'm not sure that Matt was looking to throw the ball in that case. It looked like he had the ball tucked under his left arm. And he's a right-handed quarterback. It would have been a little bit tough in that situation. But, hey, perimeter play, it's something a little bit different than running with David. Nice changeup.
Pick of of 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Herbert in motion. The give is to the fullback, Jake Baxter, up to about the 49-yard line. Pickup of 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Okay, Ron, I'm going to put you on the spot. 3rd and 4 on the left hash on the 49-yard line of Admiral King's territory. What would you call?
I would turn to my good friend Bob Braskich, who will be doing all the commentating during basketball season, and I would ask him, Bob, what would you do?
Run wide.
Run wide. So I'm
Run wide. All right. You've heard it. We're running wide. King, we're going wide.
To the left side. Herbert in motion. And a flag. David Peoples, the ball carrier, across the mid-stripe. And almost up to that down marker. Willie Lee making the stop, but we have to wait and see what that flag is all about in the backfield.
You know what? I thought that was going to be an off-tackle play, and I was going to set up Mr. Braskich by saying, see what you know, that's why you're up here. But guess what? He was right. Gosh! They went wide, and just to show you the power of David Peoples, Willie Lee came in on the tackle, and he's still down. David's 208, 209, 210 pounds, powerful kid. And hopefully Willie Lee's right. How did you get right on that play?
All right, David Peoples up on his feet. He's going to come out of the ball game. Still no indication what the penalty's about. They are talking to Southview at this point in time.
And hopefully Willie Lee's all right. I'll tell you, that was a tough tackle, and he definitely took the brunt of that tackle.
Well, they're going to bring the ball back, so the Southview Saints elect to have the officials mark off the penalty, 5 yards.
Tell you,
Legal use of hands.
Another thing that drives coaches crazy, and there's a lot of philosophies on how to handle it, is all the penalties that are occurring in this game. And gosh, just, you know, it's up to question how you handle penalties. But this is the last game of the season, so they'll have to go back to the drawing boards next year.
3rd down and 8 for the Admirals. The ball just inside their 45-yard line. Rossitano looking to pass, and a wide pass off to the side to his fullback, Jake Baxter, incomplete. That'll make it 4th down and 8 and a punting situation for the Admirals.
How many times have we said it? Nice call. It was a double screen. King was in a split backfield. The right half went to the short side of the field towards King's sideline. Jake Baxter went to the field. And I'm going to tell you, if Matt Rossitano had been able to complete the pass, there was some running room for Jake. And the execution just was not there. Too bad for Admiral King. They're punting the ball.
Y'all got to come after this. Come on.
Jake Baxter punting from his 32-yard line. Eddie Daniel deep back for the Southview Saints, and a short squibbly kick going out of bounds. A bad punt by the Admirals will give the Southview Saints good field position as they will take over now, 1st and 10 on the Admirals' 48-yard line. Preston Beard still the quarterback for the Southview Saints. He's looking to pass, trying to find a receiver. He's being chased, and finally lets go of that ball, and incomplete. Intended receiver, Brandon Neely. Broken up beautifully by the Admirals. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
If you remember what I told you about with Matt Rossitano wanting to force things, there was a time when Matt had a boot and threw across his body. Preston Beard's the quarterback, 3-step drop. It wasn't there. Scrambles towards Southview sideline, and he wanted to make something happen, but he let it hang, and lucky Southview did not get that intercepted. 2nd down.
The give is to Frank Witherspoon. Witherspoon across the 40, across the 30, across the 20. He's across the 10. He's in the end zone. Touchdown.
Ron, I believe it was a counter tray play. And when people watch it on TV, maybe I'll be wrong. counter Trey is they went to the strength of formation. The strength of formation blocked down. They brought a backside guard and tackle to the point of attack, and they caved in everything defensively on Admiral King's right side. There was nothing there. The secondary couldn't handle Frank Witherspoon's speed. He goes in untouched. Nice play.
Larry Ward will be attempting the point after. High snap and cannot be handled, and no attempt to even try to kick it. As the holder smothers the ball, and with 9 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the ball game, it's Lorain Southview 21, Admiral King 15. Larry Ward kicking off for the Southview Saints. Good kick. Taken by Joe Nazario, but when he did, he went down on one knee, and as a result, the ball is dead, and the Admiral King Admirals will take over 1st and 10, the ball on their own 21-yard line.
In high school football, once you catch that ball and drop your knee, unlike professional football, you cannot advance the ball. Joey Nazario tried to come up and make that shoestring catch, could not. And Ron, this game has been a good one. Ebbs and flows. One team's up, other team's up. I mean, so let's see what Admiral King does with 9 minutes and 27 seconds left.
Plenty of time, and the Admirals are trailing only by 6 points, 1 touchdown. Rossitano back to pass, looking for a receiver, and he slips, and down he goes on the 20-yard line. A loss of 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Bootleg to the formation. Matt had contained broken. Right when he slipped, he was looking for Frankie Solozzi. They had a double tight wingback situation, and Frank Solozzi was running the drag, and he was open. And Matt wanted to throw to him, but by the time he set up, the old green stuff underneath him gave way. And too bad Admiral King. It looks like they lost a couple yards in the play.
Rossitano hands off to David Peoples. Peoples across the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Eddie Daniel.
Off tackle isolation. Eddie Daniels comes in from the secondary. David Peoples is the ball carrier. Critical play now. 3rd and about 7.
The officials spot the ball on the 26-yard line. 3rd down and a lot of yardage.
I'm looking for Brian Herbert in this situation.
Rossitano again coming over to the near side, looking for a receiver, trying to pass, and he is tackled from behind. A loss on the play and a 4th down punting situation for the Admirals. Again, Nick Henderson defensively for the Southview Saints.
Oh, he's come up big. There was an Admiral King receiver, I believe it was David Hans, on this pass pattern. Matt didn't have the time to get him the ball, but there was somebody who had run behind him.
Ball on the 24-yard line, 4th down and 8. Baxter punting for the Admirals. Fair catch indicated by Eddie Daniel, and he takes the ball on his own 47-yard line, where the Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10. And an opportunity for me to remind you for the last time that beginning on Saturday, November 28th, Santa Claus is coming to town at the Palace Theater along with Billy the Clown, and he'll be there every Saturday thereafter, 4 consecutive Saturdays, and so will TV20. They'll be taking all the videotapings of the little kids on Santa Claus's lap and an opportunity for you to watch all week long. So that's at the Palace Theater beginning Saturday, November 28th. Frank Witherspoon, the ball carrier. Big first down for the Saints as he takes it into Admiral King territory across the 40-yard line.
On the previous series when Southview had the football and the run that Frank Witherspoon did for the touchdown, same play as right here that you just saw. Same type of situation, same play. Another first down, 10-plus yard run off tackle. Counter trade type of look.
And we want to thank briefly John Handyside from the Palace Civic Center for being so gracious to help us put these football games together as one of our sponsors. Preston Beard handing off to Eddie Daniel. Daniel coming near side. 20, 10, 5, end zone, touchdown.
Split backfield situation. Eddie Daniels gets the handoff. It's not a sweep because it was a handoff. It was an off-tackle play. The kick out was made by the right halfback. Eddie Daniels goes in untouched. And his speed outran the Admiral King secondary.
And with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the ball game, Southview on top now 27-15, and some of the Admiral King stalwarts are beginning to leave the stands. Snap from center, the kick by Larry Ward, and it is good. Remaining in the ball game, it's Lorain Southview 28, Admiral King 15. Kicking off for the Southview Saints, and pay close attention, sports fans. Frank Witherspoon needs only 13 more yards to go over 1,700 for the season. Good kick by Ward, taken on the Admirals 30, over the 40, across the 50 to about the 49-yard line. The Admirals will take over first and 10.
That was a good effort by Joey Nazario.
I was just going to say, Joey Nazario.
Stumbled a little bit, kept his feet, almost popped it. Somebody in Southview's lane control stayed in their lanes, took down the runner.
But that is quite an accomplishment for a high school tailback. 1,700 yards in one season.
Well,
Frank Witherspoon just needs 13 more.
Look at it this way. You've got an Admiral King tailback that's gone over 1,000, and you've got a Southview tailback that's got 1,700 yards. Super.
Rossitano looking to pass. On the screen to David Peoples. Peoples across the 40-yard line. And a flag. Stop made by Eddie Daniel.
Okay, the situation was this. Southview blitzed Ed Gregoric in the A-gap. Matt Rossitano was dropping back to throw a screen pass to David Peoples. David did a nice job with it. A flag was thrown, clipping, holding, or something, and then it looks like another flag was thrown where maybe somebody's lost their temper.
Holding against the Admirals, and thus far that's the only penalty being indicated by the official.
This game has been too good for 3.5 quarters, and you want the kids to finish it out real well with 6:13 left.
Penalties marched off against the Admirals. The first was a holding and then unsportsmanlike conduct, another 10 yards. The Admirals now with a 1st and 30. The ball back on their own 28-yard line. Rossitano looking to pass. Looking over to the near side for a receiver and a flag. The intended receiver, Brian Herbert.
Matt Rossitano's down. There was a one-back set situation. He's rolling to the Southview sideline. He's trying to throw the ball out here, I believe, to Brian Herbert, and I could be wrong on that. And going back to where Matt was hit, he was scissored between, I believe it was Willie Lee, or no, I think it was Nick Henderson from the outside and somebody on the inside. Hopefully Matt's all right because he's really had a nice year.
Okay, David Rossitano, or Matt Rossitano, was able to leave the field on his own, but he does have to leave for at least one play. David Rice now in at quarterback for the Admirals, and a penalty, an illegal receiver downfield, which the Southview Saints decline, making it 2nd and 30. And it's David Peoples with the ball, trying to find some running room, gets up close to the 30-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and mucho yardage. Ed Gregoric making the tackle for the Saints.
In high school football, if somebody gets hurt without any, his kids want to play, and I'm sure Matt wanted to stay in for the next play. They've got to take him out. They put David in there, quarterback. There was not a clean handoff. It was a sweep to Southview's field or sideline down here, and then David brought it back. Just inexperienced quarterback put into a tough situation.
3rd down and still about 31 yards to go for 1st down. Rossitano back in the ball game, passing up the middle and broken up by Ed Gregoric, the middle linebacker, where it's going to be 4th down and obviously a punting situation for the Admirals.
Straight drop back by Matt, threw it to the interior of the defense. Ed Gregoric, the middle linebacker, had a nice drop, got his hands up and deflected the ball away.
Jake Baxter will be punting for the Admirals. Punting from his 18-yard line. Clock is stopped with 5 minutes 15 seconds remaining in the ball game. And a good punt. Hitting on the 39 and rolling and downed on the 24-yard line.
Nice
where the
punt.
Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10. Now we're going to see if Frank Witherspoon can pick up those 13 yards and put him over 1,700 on the season. He gets the flip from the quarterback, and he's not going to make any yardage on that play. In fact, he's going to lose.
I believe Chad Griffin was there on the jersey tackle, but it's difficult with these numbers.
And there is a flag down on the 24-yard line. So we'll wait and see what the officials have to say on that, as they're talking to Frank Salozzi, the defensive captain for the Admirals. And the penalty being marched off against the Southview Saints. Holding the call, the ball back on the 11-yard line. Where it's going to be 1st down and 23. And the pitch goes to Witherspoon, trying to find some running room. Pulls his way across the 20 and out of bounds at about the 25, 26-yard line.
36, just moving on the carry. Another flag down on the play.
Tackle made by Jake Harder.
In a situation like this with 4 minutes left in the game well in hand, but with Frank Witherspoon's season as it's been such, they had split backs. It was a quick pitch to Frank. They had a receiver in motion to get that outside linebacker blocked on Admiral King's 4-4. But definitely want to get Frank Witherspoon to 1,700 yards. At least that's the thinking from Southview, I'm sure.
Well, it looks like another penalty possibly against the Southview Saints. Illegal procedure, the indication that at least I saw. So they'll take the ball back to the line of scrimmage and march off another 5 yards, and that's the call.
Yeah.
Illegal procedure. The ball back now on the 6-yard line. So instead of trying to go forward, I don't know if we jinxed Frank or
well, to me, it's
a
easy.
negative omen.
It's easy what Southview is going to do. You're just going to see, I would think, more plays for Frank Witherspoon here, just to let him get his yardage.
Witherspoon standing on the goal line. And the give is to Preston Beard. Well, he's got his own, he's keeping his own ball. Gets across the 40-yard line and picks up a first down for the Southview Saints.
Well, just little humor here. It was a busted play. After Preston Beard took the handoff, he just mishandled the ball. And maybe he didn't want Frank to have this play. He wanted to take his own and run it 30 or 40 yards. But, of course, I'm just kidding. It was a busted play, and this is one of the things that he brings to their offense. He's got enough size and speed. He's a big kid at quarterback spot.
Ball on the 41-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. Eddie Daniel, the ball carrier. Gets across the 45, tackle made by Frank Salozzi.
Good mark of any runner when they're coaching kids at the high school level or any level above that. Good runner has got to finish off his run and always lean forward. Eddie Daniels had a nice run here, and the defense is always trying to push that running back, so he's not leaning forward, and Eddie Daniels on that play ended up leaning forward. Nice run.
Pickup of 5 yards, 2nd down and 5. Clock continues to run with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the ball game. The give is to Frank Witherspoon. Frank maybe picks up a yard or two on the play. Tackle made by Jake Baxter.
I thought the ball was on the ground.
Okay. And the Admiral King Admirals have recovered the ball. So they'll take over, 1st and 10. Rossitano back to, and he drops the ball but lands on his own fumble. Ed Gregoric in on the play for the Southview Saints along with Dennis Klotz. Loss.
King had a one-back set with David Peoples, 2 receivers down here towards Southview sideline, 1 receiver at the top of the screen. Matt didn't have a chance. He had a semi-roll behind the right tackle, and he didn't even have a chance to set up, and then he saw Ed Gregoric and somebody else coming in on a blitz, and he just mishandled the ball.
Loss of 5 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 15. Rossitano back to pass again. Scampering over to the far side, throws up the middle, and it is complete. Wow! What a circus catch. What a circus catch.
I believe that was Brian Herbert, and anytime a quarterback's in trouble and Matt rolled to his right, it looks like he's holding his hand right now. Maybe he caught it on somebody's helmet. But the mark of a good receiver when your quarterback's in trouble, always you're either going to go downfield or you're going to come back to the quarterback. Brian came back and he caught the ball, and then it looks like he got it stuck on his hip.
Yeah, like it was rolling down his leg, and he just hanged on to it. 3rd down and 5 for the Admirals.
We have a new quarterback.
David Rice back in at quarterback for the Admirals, having replaced Rossitano earlier. And the bad pitch intended for James Williams, but the Admirals recover, and they'll have another 4th down situation.
David Rice is coming in, and he's a sophomore, and he's trying to do everything that he can. Matt Rossitano maybe has a hand on somebody's helmet, and there's a world of difference when you're a sophomore as opposed to a junior and a senior, and David Rice is definitely in an unfortunate situation here.
Clock continues to run with less than a minute remaining in the ball game. Southview well on top, 28-15. On the 4th down, David Rice passing over to the near side, almost intercepted by the Southview Saints' Brandon Neely.
Saints will take over on downs.
The intended receiver for the Admirals, David Hands. So on the 4th down incomplete pass, the Southview Saints will take over 1st and 10 with 44 seconds remaining in the ball game. 28-15, Southview on top. And the officials indicate timeout on the field. Admiral King calling timeout. On the 1st and 10 for the Southview Saints. Preston Beard gives to Frank Witherspoon, picks up 5, picks up 10, picks up 15, picks up 20, still on his feet, and he's got in excess of 1,700 yards on this, the 1998 football season. What an outstanding effort by an outstanding player.
Yeah, he's had a heck of a year, and he finished off that run. We saw David Peoples do a little spin move, picked him up another 7, 8, 9 yards. He's a nice running back.
Southview Saints 1st and 10, the ball on the Admiral King 21-yard line. And again, apparently some kind of timeout indicated on the field.
Admiral King. Hey, Ronnie, we've seen this before. Southview's on the 22-yard line. I believe they're going to take a knee, and I guess they didn't.
Eddie Daniel, the ball carrier, across the 20, the 10, the 5. He's in the end zone. Put 6 more on the scoreboard for the Southview Saints. So much for the knee.
And there's a flag.
There is a flag. Your call against the Southview Saints. Now they'll just simply put the knee down and end this ball game. 5 yards marched off, and that should just about take care of it as the clock winds down. See it, 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of the ball game. The Southview Saints beating the Admiral King Admirals 28-15. John and I will be back to wrap it up right after this timeout for impressions.
Want to make an impression? Got 2 ways for you to do that. First, head for Impressions, corner of Oberlin Avenue and Tower Boulevard on Lorain's west side. Let Dave help you in picking out and creating some of the most unique t-shirts and sweatshirts. The possibilities are endless. You can sport the look you want, or you can make an impression by giving a gift to someone you love. The second impression you can make is the reality that all profits from sales go to help needy children.
One way or another, it was going to be a happy ending for one of Lorain's high schools. In this particular case, not only was it a home game for the Southview Saints, but it was also homecoming, and the Southview Saints ending their season for the first time since 1988 with 5 wins and 5 losses. Meanwhile, Coach Tom Steiner, his first year at the helm for the Admiral King Admirals, no doubt will be going to the drawing board to see what he can come up with for next year, because he's got some fine juniors and sophomores that will be returning. The Admirals end their season with 2 wins and 7 losses. And John, how do you size it up?
Well, we said it was going to be a nice inter-city rivalry. Great game, ebbs and flows. Tailback from Admiral King had over 1,000 yards tonight. Tailback, running back from Southview had over 1,700 yards. And Southview was able to break it open a little bit late, 28-15. But it was billed as advertised. It was real fun to watch.
And I'd like to take this opportunity, John, to extend to you a heartfelt appreciation for the outstanding job that you did in all the commentating throughout the 9 high school games that we did here at George Daniel Stadium. Our first encounter doing something like this, and I hope the first of many, many more to come.
Well, before I turn it over to you two guys, because my career for 1998 will be ending here in about a minute or two, but I thought this is a very positive experience. I guess this is the first time that delayed television has been done at the high school sports level, and we'd like to see it continue with basketball and maybe things down the road with the other sports. But personally, I never thought this would be so much fun. And you know what the nice thing was? I could make a comment and nobody would argue with me because I could just say it and it was said. So, Ron, I'd like to thank you and Bob Quinlan for inviting me on board, and then I'm turning it over to an expert basketball commentator named Bob Braskish, and I've been waiting to get him all night. But folks, I think you guys are going to have some fun, and Ron will set it up, but this will continue in November.
As we've indicated, beginning the first week in January of the new year 1999, we're going to be bringing you some high school basketball, a couple of games with the Admiral King Admirals varsity and the girls as well, boys and girls in Southview, and my partner in crime for basketball will be Bob Braskish. And Bob, we'd like to just say welcome aboard.
I couldn't be happier, Ron. You know, we've got 9 games. I've done a little homework on the teams. All 4 of the programs are looking good, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, super. So thank you for being on board with us for high school football. We're looking forward to high school basketball, and we'll be back the first week of January. In the meantime, that's it from George Daniel Stadium.